Imagine a time when Europe was ravaged by war, where poverty was rampant and survival meant taking enormous risks. Yet out of the ashes of conflict, one small city dared to dream bigger than anyone else. Amsterdam, a village of only 30,000 people, turned itself into the financial heartbeat of the world. But how? How did they create a system so influential that it shapes the stock markets and businesses we rely on today? Stay with us, because this is part one of our series Cities That Shaped the World, where we uncover the economic revolutions that built modern life as we know it. Welcome to EconAtlas, your guide to the untold stories of economic empires. If you've ever wondered why capitalism works the way it does, or how tiny cities turned into global superpowers, you're in the right place. Today we'll dive into Amsterdam's golden age. We'll reveal how they pioneered the world's first stock exchange, transformed trade, and overcame struggles that still resonate today. And at the end of this video, I'll ask you one critical question. Would you have invested in Amsterdam's wild vision of capitalism? In the late 1500s, Amsterdam was little more than a swampy town. It had no natural resources, no fertile land, and no standing army. So how did it rise? Refugees. Thousands of merchants fleeing from Antwerp and Spain poured into Amsterdam, bringing capital, ideas, and desperation. In 1602, they pooled their resources to form the Dutch East India Company, or VOC, the world's first publicly traded corporation. Here's what made it revolutionary. People could buy shares, even if they weren't wealthy. Farmers, blacksmiths, even housekeepers became investors in global trade. It was risky, though. A single voyage could take years, with ships often lost to storms or pirates. One investor wrote in his diary, "If this fails, I will lose my family's future." Have you ever taken a risk so big your entire life depended on it? The VOC wasn't just a company, it was an empire. At its height, the VOC employed tens of thousands of people, owned a fleet of hundreds of ships, and controlled trade routes spanning the globe. They built 75 ships a year, thanks to a groundbreaking invention, the crankshaft. This simple yet revolutionary device harnessed wind power, turning circular motion into vertical motion. It transformed labor-intensive tasks into efficient processes, making ship production 30 times faster. The result? Amsterdam became the shipbuilding capital of Europe, a hub for innovation and economic ambition. Meanwhile, another revolution was quietly unfolding. Amsterdam's stock exchange flourished, becoming the first in the world. Unlike the polished exchanges of today, shares were traded on bridges and in abandoned churches, where deals were sealed with a handshake. This was the birth of modern capitalism, a system rooted in innovation and opportunity, but also in risk and uncertainty. However, success came at a cost. The VOC's hunger for profits fueled brutal colonization, exploiting workers and resources in Asia. Stories of forced labor, destroyed communities, and environmental devastation remain a dark chapter in its legacy. It begs the question, is capitalism always tied to exploitation, or can it evolve into something more just and sustainable? What lessons can we draw from history as we face the challenges of today? Amsterdam's rise holds powerful lessons for us today. It was a city built on ambition and ingenuity, but also on contradictions. In 2023, we face many of the same challenges: wealth inequality, environmental degradation, and market speculation. Take wealth inequality. In Amsterdam's golden age, a handful of traders amassed incredible fortunes, while many workers toiled for meager wages. Does this sound familiar? Today, the richest 1% control nearly half of the world's wealth. The parallels are striking. Environmental degradation is another echo of the past. The VOC reshaped entire ecosystems, depleting resources in pursuit of profit. Now we see similar patterns with climate change. Industries push the planet to its limits, often ignoring the consequences. Take the tech industry. Like the VOC, today's tech giants promise innovation. They connect us, entertain us, and make life more convenient. But at what cost? Data privacy violations, exploitative labor practices, and growing monopolies paint a troubling picture. Do we risk repeating history, putting profits over people? Or can we chart a new course? Amsterdam teaches us that innovation and exploitation often walk hand in hand, but they don't have to. We can learn from the city's successes and its mistakes. How can we create an economy that values progress without sacrificing people or the planet? It's a question for all of us. The lessons of history are clear. Now it's up to us to decide how we use them. If you found this story fascinating, like, share, and subscribe to EconAtlas. This is only the beginning. In part 2, we'll explore how London rose from the ashes of disaster to dominate the world's economy. See you there.